Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope this video can make it a little bit better. Today we're going to be breaking down all the information that was revealed in the patch notes. If you like the video, like and subscribe, and let's just jump right in. So patch 9.5, this is going to be releasing on the 12th, so the Thursday, not the Wednesday. And some of the stuff we're getting in this patch, so Heimerdinger as a new champion. Now note that you might be thinking, oh, another P&Z champion. Well, Heimerdinger is dual region. They're actually going to be having Heimerdinger use the Bandle City champion fragments or constellation materials and not P&Z. So a little bit of a win there. Also, we're getting Ari as a new champion. Both of them are getting 3 bundles each. And we're also getting a battle pass. We'll dive deep into that later. But that is not all we're getting. As you can see right here, we're also getting 3 brand new adventures. Well, kind of brand new. These are all like solo adventures that were taken out of story campaigns, and now you can just play for all champions. So up first, we have a half-star Misfortune. With this new adventure directly converted from a story adventure, it's to give players a second option from the half-star Teamer adventure. So great that they're just giving us more adventures to be able to play with. Also for this one, this adventure rewards fragments of the champion you used to beat it other than Asol. So this is fantastic. If there's any champions you're trying to level, or any champions you need a couple more fragments for, great, there's a new adventure you can go and get rewards for. But again, that's not all. We also have a Darius 2-star campaign. Again, a direct conversion of a story adventure while adding some more choice and extra loot to leveling champions. Again, fantastic. These 2 adventures probably aren't really going to give you any like constellation materials or anything too fancy. But it's nice that these are still giving some rewards, especially for any new players that want some more adventures to be able to clear. But then we also have the Ionia Yasuo 4.5 stars. Now, I believe that Aurelion Sol is 4 stars, and I think Swain and Lissandra are both 5 stars. So this should be harder than Aurelion Sol, but easier than Lissandra and Swain. Now, this is a conversion with a difficulty increase to create another challenge for those seeking it. So great that we're getting another more difficult challenge. Fantastic, and we should be able to get some good rewards from this. Hopefully some constellation materials, but we'll have to see. So this is absolutely blowing me away. I'm very surprised that we're not only getting Battle Pass this month, but also so many adventures. Let's keep going on though. So up first, we have Heimerdinger. So this is his 1st star science. Tech allies in hand and in play have a random upgrade for each time you spend 6 mana on spells. Now, Tech allies, Tech is the subtype, so similar to like Dragon or Dog or any of those, it's just another subtype. So any of your allies that have the subtype of Tech are getting these random upgrades. Now, what these upgrades are, we don't know yet. It's some new pool of, well, upgrades that they're adding just for Heimerdinger. So this isn't like the Hex Tech fabricators you can get on some items in game. This is a completely different pool of upgrades that we'll see how they work for Heimerdinger. The devs said that they're actually not going to reveal what these are. So this is going to be up to the community to figure out in game once Heimerdinger goes live. Also, this is 6 or more mana on spells. This isn't a 6 cost spell. So this isn't like Jace, we having to play these really big spells. This is much more similar to the original Lux, where it doesn't matter how you get to that 6 mana of spells, just that you've spent that much mana on spells. Now, going on, looking at the 2 stars, so we have +1 starting mana. When you summon a unit, refill 1 spell mana. This is pretty solid because you're trying to use your spells to buff up your tech units, but then you're playing your units in order to get some more mana, so these feed back into each other really nice. Also, this is a summon, not a play effect, so a little bit more flexibility there and some ways you can try to build around this, so anything that's summoning extra units will be very helpful for you. Pretty good 2nd star power, should fit right in with the others. And then we have the 3rd star. Tech allies in hand and play have a random upgrade from an improved pool of upgrades for each time you spent 6 or more mana on spells. So really just a better version of the first one, which is most 3 stars. Again, we don't know what these upgrades are, so a little hard to evaluate at the moment. You're spending mana in order to buff up your units, and then from the 2-star, you're playing units to get more mana in order to buff up your units once again. So I think his playstyle should have a really good feedback loop. Moving on though, we have the 4th star, which is actually a new power. So when you summon a created ally, grant it 1/1. So this is a permanent increase. Moving on then to the 5th star, pretty simple and straightforward. Get an extra mana gem. And then the 6th star. So Eureka, Tech allies in hand and play, start the game with 3 random improved upgrades, and then also game starts summon the Wind Up Shredder. That is the 0 cost turret that Heimerdinger can make. So it's 0 cost, 0 power, and 1 health with Challenger. Again, hard to really evaluate this when we don't know what those upgrades are going to be, but this could be crazy or could be terrible. I have faith in the devs that this is going to be solid, but again, we're kind of just going to have to wait until we actually get our hands on Heimerdinger to see how good these upgrades actually are. Moving on then, we have Ahri. So Spirit's Blessing, when you recall an ally, grant it Spirit, so able to stack up your unit's power. Then the 2-star, +1 starting mana, units keep their permanent stat buffs and keywords when recalled. And then when you recall an ally, reduce its cost by 1. This is really nice because when you recall an ally, you kind of reset them back to their base form. But this way you can actually keep any keywords or buffs that they're able to get, as long as these are permanent buffs. So if it's a grant, it'll keep it, but if it's a give, then it won't. But this should synergize very well with Ahri, because Ahri also has the level up effect that recalled allies cost 1 less. So essentially, if you've leveled Ahri on the board, when you recall a unit, it should cost 2 less. So some really nice cost reduction there. This should be a great 2-star. Moving on then to the 3rd star power, when you summon or recall an ally, grant it Spirit. So even more scaling. So just anytime you're playing your unit, it gets buffed up. But then also if you recall it and then play it again, it's getting even more buffs. And because of the 2nd star power, it's making sure you keep those buffs so they don't get reset at all. For the 4th star, hold it, so round start, stun the strongest enemy. Solid defensive power, nothing too special here, but it's a good power on pretty much anyone. Doesn't have too much synergy, but again, never a bad power to have. 5th star, simple and straightforward, get an extra mana gem. And then the 6th star, also simple, but should be a lot of fun. When you recall an ally, it strikes the enemy nexus. This I think is going to be a blast. You're going to get so many Nexus strikes off. You're going to have special synergy with any Nexus strike champions, like maybe Teemo. But also this is going to be great for powers. Like if you get the Icar power in the weekly adventures, you're just going to do so much damage to the enemy Nexus. I think this is going to be very fun and also simple and straightforward. Moving on then, here is the Epic Relic coming with Ahri or in her bundle. So when you recall another unit, so ally or enemy, grant me 1 power. So a good way to try to scale up your champion. And then power, game start, create a homecoming in hand, granted double time watch. Now homecoming is the 4 cost spell of recall one of your units to recall an enemy unit, and the double time watch reduces the cost of it every single round. So this seems solid, will be good for Ahri, and potentially usable on Yasuo if you have him at 6 stars. Otherwise, pretty much no one's going to want this, but should be good for Ahri, but not crazy. Moving on then to the Heimerdinger Relic. So we have defense spending, power, your Nexus has tough. So this is just then flat out a better version of turret plating, which on its own is still a niche relic, but this will make it more usable. And so you could actually use this on pretty much any champion, just depending on the right situation. So that's not bad, but also I am tech. So you have the tech subtype, which is actually going to be very good for Heimerdinger because his star powers are buffing up your tech units. So normally Heimerdinger won't count as having this subtype, but with this relic he will, so this should be pretty good for you. Also, one thing to note, that starting in the next patch, Riot is going to start rotating out champion bundles that have been in the game for 5 months. So going forward, after a bundle has been in the shop for 5 months, it'll get rotated out. So these are all the bundles that are getting rotated out next month. So Lux, Misfortune, and Volibear. And then the patch after that, Swain and Viego will also get rotated out. And then one last big change. So the Teemo half-star adventure is getting some more rewards. So this is going to be fantastic. We're not only getting 3 brand new adventures or reworked adventures, but also they're adding more rewards for the Teemo adventure. This is fantastic. So far this is all looking great, but let's go look at the battle pass. So here's the battle pass. They actually gave us all of the rewards. Now I haven't seen anywhere where they've talked about the price, so we'll have to wait and see about that. But here you can see all different rewards will go through here. Looking pretty good though, and as you can notice, all of these rewards are only for Path of Champions. So there's nothing here that's like any skins, any emotes, just nothing that isn't usable in Path of Champions. So a lot of very good stuff here. We're not going to go row by row, so if you need to, you can pause the video at all, or you can also look this up on Twitter if you want, or X, I should say. Really nice. Couple big things to note. For one, there's only 50 tiers. So this shouldn't be that hard to clear. And then the last reward is a diamond vault, not a gemstone vessel. Now there's a lot of good stuff in here, plenty of wild fragments, plenty of stardust, and then I think 3 platinum vaults as well as 3 gold vaults, which all have duplicate protection. And then we do have multiple silver star vessels to try to give you some more constellation materials, and then also some star crystals, and even a major gemstone vessel right here. The one thing that we don't get too much of in the event pass, though, is materials for our 6 stars. So we do have 1 gold star vessel, so that is great. This not only gives you some star crystals for the 4 and 5 stars, but it also gives you some fragments for getting a 6-star Nova crystal. Unfortunately, though, we only have 1 of these in the battle pass, and we don't actually have any just standalone Nova crystal fragments scattered throughout here. So that's one thing that there isn't too much in the battle pass, which is a little bit disappointing, but overall this battle pass is looking great. So many rewards. This will really help power up your account. And while they haven't released a price yet, I would think that the industry standard is generally like $10, and that's what they had the event passes at before. So if they would stick with that amount, then I think this is giving you the most reward for your dollar than anything else in the entire game. And that is normally how battle passes can work. So if you are wanting to support the game, but you don't maybe have enough to buy any of the actual bundles for champions, then these battle passes are probably going to be your best way to do that. Again, though, we don't officially have the price out there yet, so do stay tuned. All right, that's it for the patch notes video, though. Very exciting. We're getting a ton of stuff this patch. The fact we're getting 3 brand new adventures, or well, reworked adventures, but new adventures in the game with new rewards. And they're also adding new rewards for the Teemo adventure, I think is great. Look forward to testing this out. We'll be putting a ton of content up on YouTube whenever the patch drops. And then we'll also be streaming the patch on Thursday as soon as it goes live. So definitely swing by and check that out. There's a link to my Twitch channel down below. And I'll also try to put a link to the patch notes down below as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.